Hello friends, myself Dr. Nandakumar Raubawale from College of Engineering Ambazugai is going to deal with applied thermodynamics 2. This is our 12th lecture. In previous lecture, we have discussed about refrigerants, classification of refrigerants, designation system for refrigerants, secondary refrigerants, and properties of refrigerant, selection of refrigerants. So now today we are going to discuss about introduction to vapor absorption refrigeration system VAR. In that we are going to discuss about aqua ammonia absorption refrigeration system and lithium bromide absorption refrigeration system and comparison of vapor compression refrigeration with vapor absorption refrigeration. So now we will have the introduction of this vapor absorption refrigeration system, what this vapor absorption refrigeration system is and when it was invented and how it works. So very first, the vapor absorption refrigeration system is not a new system of refrigeration. This is also one of the oldest method of producing refrigerating effect. So this was discovered by Michael Faraday in 1824, and the first vapor absorption refrigeration machine was developed by Ferdinand Carey in 1860. So it was discovered, but he could not develop. But the Ferdinand Carey developed the actual machine which works on vapor absorption refrigeration system. Michael Faraday, while doing certain experiments, he found this mechanism or this principle of vapor absorption can produce the refrigerating effect, and that logic is used by Ferdinand Carey to produce or to develop the machine working on vapor absorption refrigeration system. Michael Faraday just gave the concept of vapor absorption refrigeration, whereas Ferdinand Carey implemented this concept for producing the refrigeration system using vapor absorption method. Then vapor absorption system may be used for both domestic and heavy industrial applications also. So this is applicable not only for domestic purposes, it is applicable for heavy industrial application purposes. Then most commonly used refrigerant in this vapor absorption refrigeration is ammonia, and this vapor absorption refrigeration system uses heat energy instead of mechanical energy. So in compressor we are using a mechanical energy in case of vapor compression refrigeration, but vapor absorption refrigeration system uses the heat energy which is used for separation of this ammonia from water. Then the compressor of this vapor compression refrigeration system is replaced. It is replaced. Now vapor absorption refrigeration system is not consisting of compressor, which was present in vapor compression refrigeration system. So now this compressor is replaced in vapor absorption refrigeration system by the components known as the absorber, pump, generator, and pressure reducing valve. So these four components are replacing this compressor, and the work of compressor is being done by these four components. Now let us see how this vapor absorption refrigeration system works. First we see this aqua ammonia absorption refrigeration system. What this aqua ammonia? Aqua means it is water. Name of water is aqua ammonia. So here the mixture of ammonia and water is used for producing refrigerating effect. So now we will see one by one. First of all, we will see the introduction of each and every component, and then we will discuss about its working. So first of all, we consider this absorber. So first component we are going to discuss absorber. What this absorber is? So here the ammonia enters into this absorber, where it gets mixed with the weak solution of water and ammonia, that is known as aqua ammonia solution, weak aqua ammonia solution. So this weak aqua ammonia solution has got affinity to absorb ammonia when its temperature is lower. So this hot temperature aqua ammonia solution, which is weak aqua ammonia solution, comes into this absorber, and that is cooled by cooling water. So as it is cooled by passing this water through this cooling coil, so when this water is passed through this cooling coil, then the temperature of solution, that is weak solution, gets reduced. As the temperature gets reduced, so then it becomes hygroscopic in nature. Hygroscopic in the nature means it has got this not hygroscopic, this has got affinity to absorb ammonia vapor. So lower is the temperature of aqua ammonia solution or water, then water absorbs ammonia vapor. So the water has got affinity to absorb ammonia at lower temperature. So here, so the temperature of solution of aqua ammonia, weak solution, means it is water and ammonia is reduced, and because of that it gets the tendency to absorb ammonia. So this is first part. Then second part is pump. So this pump is going to supply this strong solution. So when this weak solution temperature is reduced, so it absorbs the ammonia and it becomes a strong solution, that is concentration of ammonia increases, and that strong solution is to be passed to the generator using a pump. So pump increases pressure of this strong solution of aqua ammonia and it enters into the generator. So in this generator, again here there is one more coil is provided. So this coil may be electrical coil, or it may be a steam pipe, or it may be a hot water pipe. So generally it is called as a heating coil. So it may be electrical coil, or it may be a steam coil so which produces heat in this generator. So as we know, at lower temperature water has got affinity to absorb ammonia. So at the same time, at higher temperature, so the water rejects ammonia from it and ammonia gets separated. So this generator makes or separates ammonia from this strong solution, and this ammonia, which is liberated by heating of this aqua ammonia solution, strong aqua ammonia solution, so ammonia moves up, and the weak solution of this aqua ammonia or water comes to again pressure reducing valve. Here pressure is reduced, expanded, because pressure is increased by pump, and that pressure is released by this pressure reducing valve. Again this weak solution enters into the absorber. So here pressure reducing valve is there. So this complete part, that is absorber, then pump, generator and pressure reducing valve, are going to replace, these four components are going to replace the compressor of vapor compression refrigeration system. Then here there is a condenser, so where heat is rejected to the atmosphere. So as in case of vapor compression refrigeration system, same is the working principle of this condenser. Condenser may be a water cooled or it may be air cooled, so it rejects heat to the surrounding. So this refrigerant ammonia passed into this condenser, which rejects heat to the surrounding, and then it comes into this receiver, and from this receiver it goes to the expansion valve. So again here the pressure of this refrigerant ammonia is reduced, and when its pressure is reduced, here temperature is reduced, here pressure is in condenser, temperature is reduced and it is condensed. So then condensed or liquid ammonia comes into this receiver, and from this receiver it comes to the expansion valve, so where it gets expanded, and this expanded refrigerant again its temperature and pressure gets decreased, and this refrigerant enters into the evaporator, where it absorbs heat energy Q in, or it produces a refrigerating effect. A refrigerating effect is produced in this evaporator. So once this ammonia which is at low pressure and absorb heat, then it moves towards absorber, because in this absorber this water has got a low temperature and this water absorbs ammonia. Now let us see its working principle. Now we start with this evaporator. So we say this point 1. So this refrigerant ammonia absorbs heat in this evaporator at point 1. So Q in, heat is absorbed and refrigerating effect is produced. So this refrigerant ammonia is at low pressure ammonia, and then this ammonia is absorbed by this weak solution of aqua ammonia in absorber, as the temperature is low. So how this temperature is made low? So the cooling water is circulated in this absorber. So this cooling water cools this aqua ammonia solution, and where the temperature of aqua ammonia solution gets reduced, and as the solution temperature gets reduced, this is a weak aqua ammonia solution. When its temperature is reduced, then it absorbs ammonia vapor. Weak aqua ammonia solution in the sense concentration of ammonia is very low. Generally we can say it as a water. So this water at lower temperature has got affinity to absorb this ammonia, and this ammonia is absorbed in this water by this absorber. So as this ammonia gets absorbed in the water, so vacuum is produced, because the specific volume of this ammonia gets reduced. So when it was in vapor state, so this ammonia vapor is absorbed. So as the vapor is condensed or absorbed, automatically the specific volume gets reduced, and as the specific volume gets reduced, then the vacuum is produced. So here a low pressure region is produced in the absorber. So then as this aqua ammonia solution absorbs ammonia, and then it becomes strong solution, then strong solution is taken by this pump, and this strong solution of aqua ammonia is passed into the generator. So in this generator, this strong solution of aqua ammonia is heated with the help of steam or heating coil. So at higher temperature, this water has affinity to liberate ammonia. So this ammonia is liberated from this water and moves in this upward direction, whereas the water which becomes a weak solution of ammonia, then it comes to this side, and it passes through the pressure reducing wall. So when its pressure is reduced, so pump helps to increase its pressure, and this pressure reducing wall helps to reduce its pressure. So this weak solution of aqua ammonia again enters into this absorber after reducing its pressure. Then coming to this ammonia liberated in this generator, so this ammonia which is at higher pressure, ammonia vapor moves to this condenser. So in this condenser, it rejects heat to the surrounding, or here again cooling water is passed into this condenser. So this cooling water absorbs heat energy and carries it out from this condenser. So this ammonia vapor gets converted into liquid. So this liquid ammonia comes to this receiver, and then it comes to the expansion wall. So when it comes to the expansion wall, so this liquid ammonia pressure is reduced, and this low pressure liquid ammonia enters into the evaporator. Again it absorbs heat energy and gets converted into vapor. So this ammonia vapor again comes into the absorber, and this cycle is again repeated. Only the difference between the vapor compression refrigeration system and vapor absorption refrigeration system is, so these three components, evaporator, condenser and expansion wall, are going to remain as it is. Only this part of is going to replace the compressor. So this part, that is generator, pressure reducing wall, absorber, pump, are going to replace this compressor. This is how the vapor absorption refrigeration system works. Now coming to practical vapor absorption refrigeration system. Now again same system is here. So same similar parts are there. Only 2-3 parts are added here. One is analyzer. So this part is known as analyzer, and this part is known as a rectifier or dehydrate. So what is the difference between previous vapor aqua ammonia vapor absorption refrigeration and practical absorption refrigeration system? So as we have seen absorber, so here is the absorber. So here ammonia vapor is absorbed in this absorber, where the temperature is reduced by cooling water. So this ammonia is absorbed in this absorber, and this weak solution coming from generator gets mixed with this ammonia, and a strong solution is formed. This strong solution is pumped with the help of pump to the generator. So here, while moving this strong solution, so this strong solution has got low temperature, because already here we have cooled this strong solution. This cold aqua ammonia solution, which is strong cold aqua ammonia solution, is pumped with the help of a pump to the generator. While passing to this generator, it is passed through the heat exchanger. So here this heat exchanger is another part which is added. So this aqua ammonia solution is at low temperature, so it takes heat energy from weak solution, because here this weak solution is heated in this generator. So this weak solution which is coming from generator is at high temperature, and this strong solution is at low temperature. So this low temperature but strong solution, when it goes into this heat exchanger and absorbs heat from weak solution which is at high temperature, so here this heat exchanger allows transfer of heat from weak solution to strong solution, which helps us to reduce the heating energy which is required in this generator. So anyhow, the strong solution has to be heated in this generator. So instead of adding large heat into this generator, some amount of heat which is going to the absorber is exchanged in this heat exchanger. Now what is the function of this analyzer? So analyzer is nothing but, it may be sometimes a integral part of generator, or it may be a separate part. It contains trays. So what is function of analyzer is main thing. When this refrigerant strong solution of aqua ammonia enters into this generator, then what happens, the ammonia is separated, and the weak solution is passed into the absorber. So when ammonia is separated, it carries some water vapor, and if this water vapor comes directly into this expansion wall, so after expansion, this water particles present in ammonia in this expansion wall may get freezed. So when it gets condensed or freezed, then it may choke up the system. So therefore it is necessary to remove this water particle. So in order to remove water particle, it is passed into the analyzer, where this analyzer contains n number of trays, and which separates water particles from ammonia. So this ammonia which is separated from water particles still contains some portion of water particles. Then it is passed into the rectifier. So when it is passed into the rectifier is again nothing but a condenser like device. So again here cooling water is passed. So this cooling water absorbs heat energy from this ammonia, and if there is any part of water present in this ammonia, that is condensed, and that condensate is again passed into this analyzer with the help of a dripper. So the ammonia without water particles is passed into the condenser, where it is condensed, and this refrigerant ammonia which is condensed in the condenser is passed through the receiver, and then it goes to the heat exchanger. So now still this has got the affinity it may have the higher heat energy. So in order to reduce its temperature, it is passed into the heat exchanger. So here in this heat exchanger, the heat energy is given by this ammonia liquid to this ammonia vapor. So here this cooling effect is produced still here. That means large amount of heat energy has to be absorbed by ammonia in a evaporate. So this ammonia comes into this heat exchanger. It rejects heat to the vapor ammonia, and then it comes into the expansion valve where pressure and temperature of this ammonia gets reduced, and it again absorbs heat energy Qn, producing refrigerating effect. So this ammonia, when it absorbs heat energy, then it moves in the upward direction. So at that time, because of expansion, its pressure and temperature is going to get reduced. So this ammonia, when it absorbs heat energy, still it is at lower temperature. When it moves in this heat exchanger, it has got tendency to absorb heat energy. Then it takes heat from the liquid ammonia which is coming from receiver. So here heat is taken by this vapor ammonia which is at lower temperature from the liquid ammonia which is at higher temperature coming from condenser. So that is nothing but the tendency of ammonia to absorb heat energy is increased, and in this evaporator larger amount of refrigerating effect is produced. So this ammonia vapor is again absorbed into this absorber, and the process is continued. Only the hot weak solution from generator is passed into this heat exchanger where it gives its heat to this strong solution. So here two heat exchangers are used, heat exchanger number 1 and heat exchanger number 2. Then third one is difference is analyzer, and fourth difference is rectifier or dehydrator. These four things are added into the vapor absorption refrigeration system to make it practical refrigeration system. So here this heat exchanger number 2 increases the refrigerating effect. Heat exchanger number 1 reduces amount of heat energy which is required to heat this strong solution of aqua ammonia. So in order to reduce heat to be supplied to heat this aqua ammonia solution in a generator, so heat exchanger number 1 helps us, whereas heat exchanger number 2 helps us to enhance the refrigerating effect, whereas this rectifier is playing a role to remove the remaining particles of water in the ammonia, whereas analyzer is mostly removing almost all particles of water. Still, if any particle of water remains in this ammonia, that is removed in the rectifier. So this is the function of rectifier. Now coming to this next system, lithium bromide absorption refrigeration system. So in this lithium bromide absorption refrigeration system, it works on the similar principle of vapor absorption, just like aqua ammonia solution. So but here the water is used as a refrigerant. So in that previous case, ammonia was used as a refrigerant. As I told you that this lithium bromide absorption system uses water as a refrigerant. In case of aqua ammonia, ammonia is used as a refrigerant. So now here the water itself is used as a refrigerant. So now this lithium bromide absorption refrigeration system is generally used for producing temperature above 0 degrees Celsius and below ambient temperature. So this is generally used in air conditioning systems. So now for producing air conditioning system which is at temperature above 0 degrees Celsius and below ambient temperature. Now let us see what is the difference between vapor absorption refrigeration of aqua ammonia and lithium bromide. So in this case, this generator and this condenser are enclosed in a single unit, whereas evaporator and absorber are enclosed in another second container or vessel. So now how it works, that we see. Water from a air conditioning system which is at higher temperature is passed into this coil in a evaporator. So this high temperature water is passed into this evaporator and it is cooled, and low temperature water is moved to the air conditioning system. So this produces the refrigerating effect. So it carries heat from a air conditioning system. The water at higher temperature enters into this evaporator and rejects heat and moves to the air conditioning system. Here is the place where refrigerating effect is produced. So when this high temperature water passed into the evaporator, at that time the strong solution the water is spread over this evaporator. Cold water is spread over this evaporator. When this water falls on this evaporator, at that time this water is spread in over this evaporator, gets evaporated because the pressure in this vessel is low. As this water is spread over this evaporator, at low pressure water gets evaporated. So when this water gets evaporated, this is absorbed in a absorber. As this cooled water, that is nothing but here the strong solution of lithium bromide is spread over this absorber. So when this strong solution of lithium bromide is spread over this absorber, so this absorber is cooled with the help of a pump, just like in case of aqua ammonia vapor absorption refrigeration system. So cold steam of this absorber absorbs this strong lithium bromide solution absorbs water vapor, and then it becomes a weak solution. So as this lithium bromide solution, which is strong, is passed into this absorber, its temperature is reduced. Because of lower temperature, this has got affinity to absorb this water vapor which is produced in this evaporator. So this lithium bromide solution at a lower temperature becomes hygroscopic in nature. Hygroscopic in the sense it has got a tendency to absorb water. So in case of aqua ammonia, water has got affinity to absorb ammonia, but here this strong solution of this lithium bromide has got affinity to absorb water. So that is called as a what you say, hygroscopic in nature. So at lower temperature, lithium bromide solution absorbs this water vapor which is produced in this evaporator. So these water vapors are absorbed by this strong solution, and this strong solution becomes weak. So this weak solution is passed with the help of pump in this heat exchanger, where this gains heat here from this strong solution, and this weak solution is passed into this generator, where heat is supplied with the help of heating coil. So when heat is supplied using a heating coil, so this water is getting evaporated. So this water passes into this what you call condenser, and the strong solution of this lithium bromide is again taken with the help of this system into this absorber, and this is sprayed here in this evaporator or this system. So strong solution, when it is passed into this pressure reduction valve, pressure is reduced, and then it is sprayed. Again it absorbs what you say strong solution of lithium bromide is taken from here. It is not taken from here. So this is the water which is compensating. So as this weak solution enters into this generator, in this generator heating coil is provided. Temperature of lithium bromide solution, strong solution, is increased. At higher temperature, lithium bromide releases water, or water gets evaporated, and strong solution of lithium bromide is taken away from this system, and then it is passed into this heat exchanger. So when this strong solution is taken out from this generator, is at higher temperature, it gives its heat to the weak solution, and then this strong solution which is cooled is again taken into this absorber, and again it is sprayed here. So this strong solution is sprayed again. When this strong solution is sprayed in a absorber, as the temperature of this absorber is lower, it again has affinity to absorb water vapor produced in this evaporator. So now here this water vapor produced in this generator by heating coil, so strong solution is taken from this side, So water vapor moves into this condenser, and this water vapor is condensed in this condenser, and that water vapor which is condensed in this condenser is taken out here, and by reducing its pressure, again it is added into this evaporator, so to compensate this water loss. So here the water loss is going to occur. So this water which is evaporated is taken from the condenser, again it is added into this absorber. Now for purpose of cooling in absorber and in case of condenser, so the water from cooling pond or is taken from pump, and this cold water is circulated in the absorber in order to absorb heat energy in this absorber. So when this water is going to absorb heat energy, so the solution of lithium bromide temperature gets reduced and it absorbs water vapor. So this cold water again is passed into this condenser. So in this condenser it is passed, and again here it condenses the water vapor produced into the generator, and then this cooling water is taken out, and after cooling this water again comes into this cooling pond or cooling tank. So there may be a small cooling tower. So in this cooling tower, this cooling water is circulated where it is cooled, and this cold water is again brought into this cooling pond. Let us see once again how it works. See here, the water which is higher temperature in this air conditioning system is passed here in this evaporator. It rejects heat to this system, and low temperature water moves into this air conditioning system. So here as this is cooled, how it is cooled, so the water is spread over this evaporator, and when this water is spread over this evaporator, the temperature of water passing through this coil is higher, and the water is spread over this is at a cold temperature. So as this cold water gets evaporated in this, so this cooling effect is achieved, so refrigerating effect is produced here. So water vapor produced here by absorbing heat at a low pressure. So here this water gets evaporated at earlier because the pressure in this evaporator is low. So this water vapor produced is absorbed by this strong solution of lithium bromide in absorber. So as this lithium bromide temperature is reduced in this absorber by cooling water, so at lower temperature its hygroscopic nature increases, or tendency to absorb water vapor increases. So then this strong solution becomes weak, so concentration of lithium bromide gets reduced, and the percentage of water increases. So this weak solution from absorber is taken with the help of pump which is at cold lower temperature, is passed into this heat exchanger. In this heat exchanger, the weak solution of lithium bromide is at lower temperature, has affinity to absorb heat energy, so that absorbs heat energy from strong solution coming from generator. So from this solution which is at higher temperature, heat is taken by this weak solution, and this weak solution of lithium bromide is passed into this generator where it is heated. So when with the help of electrical coil, or it may be with the help of steam. So here this strong solution, in this strong solution water gets evaporated, and in this weak solution water gets evaporated, and strong solution is taken out from this, and which is at higher temperature. So this high temperature lithium bromide solution which is strong gives its heat to the weak solution in this heat exchanger. Again this strong solution is passed into this absorber, again it is sprayed, and then this is going to absorb water vapor. So this cycle is going to repeat. So here now the water which is evaporated in this generator moves into the condenser where it gets condensed, and this condensed water is again taken through this pressure reducing valve into this evaporator, so to compensate the water loss in this system. Now this absorber needs the cooling effect. So in order to produce cooling effect, or to cool this strong solution of lithium bromide, so water is circulated from this sump with the help of a pump, and where it absorbs heat, and temperature of lithium bromide gets reduced, lithium bromide in absorber gets reduced. So this water again is passed into this condenser, where in this condenser the vapors of water produced in generator are condensed, and this water is passed into the cooling tower where it is cooled. Again this water is circulated back to this cooling tank, and this water is again recirculated. This is how lithium bromide absorption refrigeration works. So now comparison between vapor compression refrigeration and vapor absorption refrigeration system. So working method of vapor compression refrigeration is refrigerant vapor is compressed, that is nothing but compressor is used. So here in vapor absorption refrigeration system, refrigerant is absorbed and heated. So in absorber, refrigerant is absorbed and it is heated in a generator. So this is not happening in vapor compression refrigeration system. So type of energy supplied. So what kind of energy supplied? In case of vapor compression refrigeration system, mechanical work is supplied with the help of compressor. So in vapor absorption refrigeration, heat energy is supplied to the generator. So heating coil is produced. So this is another difference. Then work input required. So in case of vapor compression refrigeration, more work is required in a compressor. So whereas less mechanical energy is required to run the pump in case of vapor absorption refrigeration. Only a small pump is there and large amount of work is not required to run this pump. So comparing with the coefficient of performance, COP of this VCR, vapor compression refrigeration, is approximately 3, and vapor absorption refrigeration system is 0.6. So COP is less. Then capacity of this vapor compression is 1000 ton for single compressor, maximum limited to 1000 ton for single compressor. So in case of vapor absorption, it may be above 1000 for single generator. So we are using a single generator, it may be more than 1000. So noise, if we compare, so in vapor compression, the compressor is a moving part, so it creates noise, and vapor absorption system has got only pump which creates very less noise. So leakage. In case of leakage, more leakage is seen in this vapor compression because the pressure in this vapor compression system is very large, whereas in vapor absorption system there is no leakage as the pressure is very low. So there is low tendency of getting leakage. In operating cost, so in case of vapor compression, the operating cost of vapor compression is more because compressor consumes more energy, whereas the vapor absorption refrigeration system requires less energy. So suitable refrigerant. So vapor compression refrigeration system uses many more refrigerants which are designated as R12, R14, R114, and so many refrigerants are used. So in vapor absorption refrigeration system, so ammonia, lithium bromide, some hygroscopic or absorbents are used as a refrigerant. So very limited number of refrigerants are available for vapor absorption refrigeration system. Now load variation. So if there is a load variation, then the vapor compression refrigeration system does not provide better performance. COP is going to decrease, whereas the performance of vapor absorption refrigeration is poor at partial load. So it is poor at partial load, but sorry, this is not poor at partial load. In case of vapor compression, it is poor, but in case of vapor absorption, it is not poor, it is constant. It is performance is not affected due to load variation. So space for vapor compression system of same capacity required is less, whereas in vapor absorption space required is more. So this is the comparison between vapor compression refrigeration and vapor absorption refrigeration system. So this is how we have completed the refrigeration systems as well as the refrigerants, vapor compression refrigeration, and vapor absorption refrigeration system. So in next lecture we will be discussing about air conditioning systems. Thank you.